Alright, welcome back. We are playing as Toko and some others. I don't think you can look at who's in your party in this game. In the first game, you just paused the game and there you go, you saw everyone. The boys' room is completely boarded up, it won't be possible to get inside. Are there any bodies at least? No. So this is a really short chapter. If I sped through it with like the fast forward thing, it will probably take not even 5 minutes. Well, granted, I guess a lot of chapters would be like that. Because the fast forward, like, it's so fast. Like, it doesn't joke around. Alright, just had to check and see if my mic was recording. Because sometimes my mic isn't recording, and then I have to, like, stop and start it up again. Like, I have to revert to save. There's the beep. He wasn't there in the bathroom area. Nothing. Are there even any bodies? I assume there's some. Let's go this way. Can I go in these classrooms? I don't think I can. Oh, I can. Interesting. Oh, hello. It's a recently deceased corpse, still a bit warm. Based on appearance and uniform, this was most likely a high school boy. There's a student ID name tag on the ground next to him, but is that an Elias? A fake ID? The name on the card seems highly suspicious. Kurashiki Industrial High School, Onda 4th Street. Kurashiki Onda. Intended to manufacture Heavenly Host Elementary goods and sell them for a premium price, but died before seeing this dream come true. Why would you want to make things for that? That would make more people want to come here. Interesting. I don't remember finding that body. There's another. That looks like the one from Chapter 2. That's in like the exact same place. Remember when Mayu covered up with the sheet? It looks like the exact same body. And this... It's a newly deceased corpse. Based on appearance and dress, she seems to have been female. Yeah, and I have the name tag. Maybe that is the same person. How does it feel to be stabbed? The writing is partially erased, making it hard to interpret what it might have said. This door seems like it might just be openable. It's a bunch of dishes. They must have been propped against the door. There are wet, bloody prints all over them. It's a little disturbing. Wait a minute. Was there always a door there? Whatever. This one's probably locked. Yeah. Oh, there's a large hole in the floor here. Too big to jump over. Well, maybe the door is open then? Yeah, I guess it is. Well, that's cool. There are letters scratched into the corner of the blackboard, seemingly with fingernails. Do not trust them, they will betray you. The one who volunteered to go will betray you most severely. Well, yeah, that sounds about right. The cabinet is locked. There appears to be numerous thick books inside. They have titles like The Truth of Ties and Adorable Enough to Kill You. What in the world could that last one possibly be about? Oh, what the hell is it? Oh, I guess my eyes just messed up. Either that or the darkening came in and like changed the coloring, because I swear that this changed color when I looked over here. The words "kill before you're killed" are scribbled all over the school flyer. Oh, that's a good message to give. Locked. It's locked up tight. It looks like we'll have to try somewhere else. What's my darkening? It's already at 24%. Man, Toko's a baby. Music stop. The word infirmary was written on the plate above the door. Somehow the room just felt like it would be deserted. I was oddly confident about that. Not sure why I felt that way, to be honest, but for good measure I shouted, "Is anyone in there?" We still hadn't found Mitsuki, after all. I didn't hear her call back, though, so really we had no business in this room whatsoever. Wait, was that a key sticking out of the lock? Who would have locked the door but left the key? What would be the point?
Oh, なんだこれ。扉に鍵刺さってるぜ。
何してんの？
中に化け物でもいたら大変だろ。出てこれないようにしてやった。
What if one of your friends is hurt in there?
その鍵どうするのよ。
俺が持っとくよっと。
危ないな、投げないでよ。
キャッチうめえだろっと。まだ高く投げられるぜ。
Yeah, this guy's terrible. Pain in the ass. Shimano was such a pain in the ass. I really couldn't stand the guy. Well, we agree there. We both agree that Kizumi's awesome, and we both agree that Kai is an asshole.
しつこい。分かったからやめて。
ここ天井高えな。よし。ふっ。ああ、どこ行った？まあいいや。知らね。
And now the infirmary was cut off from us if we needed it. Brilliant. Oh, hey, I didn't look at all those halls.
昇降口だ。やった、出られる。
I rushed over to the door, hopeful yet afraid, knowing it might not open, but praying this horrid place would show us at least a little mercy. Gingerly, I raised my hand and pushed on it, and it swung open without even the slightest hesitation. It almost seemed too easy. That's the first time it's ever opened. It was unnaturally dark outside, though, and the rain was coming down so hard that peeking my head out for just a moment left my uniform completely soaked. Shimada pushed past me, throwing the door open even wider with his usual lack of regard for anyone and anything around him. My clothes went from soaked to drenched in a matter of seconds. If I were to actually walk out in it, I'd feel like I'd drowned.
なんだこりゃ。真っ暗だぞ。森？
ひどい雨。こんな中外に出て行ったら服びしょ濡れになりそう。
そりゃ見てみてえな。
けど外に出られることは分かったね。
Just ignore
片
some.
山たち連れに戻ろう。ね、ゆうや。
Despite our having found a way out, Yuya's demeanor hadn't changed a bit. He was standing back by the hall where he could watch over us while also keeping an eye out for anyone else who might happen by, the model of maturity. Shimada, on the other hand...
頑張れよ。俺はもう出るぞ。こんなわけわかんねえところ、とっとと出るに限るぜ。片山のところになんか戻らねえよ。
マジで言ってる？
Where do you plan to go?
当たり前だバカ。脳なしから順番に死ぬようになってるんだよ。あんな奴ら放っとけよ。は
あ、びっくり。いいんだこんなやつ。
よう桐崎、お前も来いよ。
The tone in his voice said it all. He'd hit their ultimate low. After abandoning his friends to save his own hide, he was now basically propositioning me.
お前には死んでほしくないんだ。前から大事に思ってたからさ。
With an obviously rehearsed and truly sickening pickup line. He really was the slime ball to end all slime balls.
信じらんない。何お前、こっち見んなよ。
I couldn't believe he had the nerve to pull something like this. I felt like that may have been the first time I'd ever truly yelled at someone. I was absolutely livid. And he wasn't even done. No, he still had plenty of salt left to throw in the wound.
うるせえブス調子乗ってんなよ
Oh.
せっかく行かせてやろうと思ったのによ後悔しろや
死ねえこいつマジキレる行こうユウヤ
My head was swimming. I was scared, I was angry, I was sad. Every negative emotion brought to the forefront, every positive emotion pushed away. Well, that's going to lead to the darkening. I didn't look back. I just turned away from Shimada, walked over to Yuya's side, and continued past him into the hallway. Have I seriously been recording for 10 minutes already? Yuya had been watching all this unfold from the other side of the room, and for a moment he just stood there, staring blankly at Shimada.
あ何見てんだよ消えろよ能面野郎
Shimada then drew a large knife from his breast pocket. Its tip struggled to glisten in the dull light of the room, but it did ultimately succeed. He began waving it around like a dumbass, probably thinking it made him look menacing.
見ろよこれ昨日買ったんだよ使えそうだろいろいろお前は本当に面白いな
あいつ女10人くらいいるんだよ信じられる何が大事に思ってたよどんだけ女の子バカにしてんのマジ許せない
I was indignant, I was fuming, I just kept cursing and mumbling as I fast walked back to the 3rd floor to meet up with the others. And all the while, Yuya was keeping pace with me, saying nothing at all. Always the model of maturity. Always even-tempered, or he really was like a rock. Or maybe he found my mutterings annoying and was just keeping quiet so I'd do the same. I didn't like that possibility one bit, so I mentally slapped myself on the cheek, forced positivity in my voice, and tried to engage in cheery banter. Yep, beep. You're not letting me explore the halls.
ユウヤはその点誠実だよね女の子傷つけたこと一回もないでしょ
Not yet.
超モテるのに悪い噂聞いたことないもんある意味すごいよ
I looked him square in the eyes as if asking him, isn't that right? And for a moment his eyes did meet mine, but then they went right back to the hall. Was he not used to receiving compliments from women? That seemed hard to believe.
よくわからない
What a cute, innocent response. Beep. I must have come across as bipolar to him or something. One second I'd try to lighten the mood with small talk or compliments. And then I'd start to feel scared of this school again, or angry at Shimada, or sad for Katayama. My mind just couldn't make up its mind what to feel. That's a weird sentence. Yay! Well, it's a more suitable time. Well, it's a more suitable time to play this song than it was in Chapter 6, I'll give it that. Mitsuku's voice echoed up from below, but our friends were waiting for us above. For a moment, I wasn't sure which direction to go, but only for a moment. The fact is, our friends were very, very close, so close that it would be foolish not to tell them what was going on before chasing after Mitsuki. I can't read today. Yu just nodded and began running up the stairs, and I was right behind him. I was out of breath, staring down at the ground and talking to what I assumed would be 3 very attentive friends. But then I looked up. They were all there, but there was no immediacy, no urgency on anyone's face. Hemi and Okawa weren't even looking at me, nor at Yuya, but at Katayama. They were fixated on his face, and each bore a sad, hopeless, empty expression, and they certainly weren't about to get moving. There was a general heaviness in the air. Something was very wrong. I gently reached out my hand and touched Emi's shoulder.
喋らなくなったよ。どうしよう。陽介。
And his eyes are filled with tears. Okawa, too, was cradling Katayama's head and looked like he'd been crying this whole time. His eyes were bright red and his nose was running. Yuya, still saying nothing, just walked over to Katayama's side, bent down and began examining his wound.
Yuya.
急いだ方がいい。
The four of us silently but unanimously agreed that our best course of action was to pick up Katayama and bring him out through the exit we discovered. And into the scary forest where it's raining. That's a great idea. And we have to be very, very quick about it, or he really would die. I could tell just by looking at him that his time was almost up.
Kizami-kun, 背負える?
Yeah, of course he can.
あ、背に乗せるのを手伝ってくれ。涼介、頑張れ。みんなが助けてくれるぞ。
No one's gonna ask where Shimada went? As this was all going on, I had that nagging feeling like I was forgetting something. Of course, Mitsuki, wow, you forgot it, wow. We had to go find her, we couldn't just leave her behind after all.
Yuya, どうしよう、私。2階ちょっと見てきていい?
Whoops. He didn't even have to say anything this time. His eyes told the whole story. Got it. I know I can trust you with this task, they said. And that was enough for me. I shot off down the hall like a bullet. I was determined to find Mitsuki and rejoin everyone en route. I hurried down to the second floor. Mitsuki's voice was coming from even farther down. I'd have to keep going to the first floor ahead of the others. Yay. Now I can go look at those halls. I didn't get to see this one and that one. Alrighty. Bodies. No. Oh yeah, that's right. There is a new manga out that I feel like you guys would be interested in. It's called Doll's Fall, and it was written by Makoto Kedwin, which is the person who wrote The Corpse Party. There's only one chapter translated so far. It's pretty new. But yeah, I feel like you guys would be interested in that, so there you go. Doll's Fall. Why am I even looking in this staircase? Never anything in this staircase. Oh, there is something in this staircase, just not in the same type of staircase. There's a thoroughly decomposed corpse here. And no name tag. Interesting how the hall to the second wing is always open in every chapter. Door leading out to the covered walkway is frozen in place as if it's just a decoration on the wall. It can't be opened. How do you know there's a covered walkway out there, Toko? You can't see out there. Alright. I actually don't remember where to go with this part. I have no idea what that just said. You see how fast it goes when you fast forward the text? That was just this. No, if I've got this place mapped out right in my head, I'll just be getting further and further from where I heard her voice this way. Where we heard her voice this way, I should go back from. I cannot read today. Alright. So we're not going this way. It's a thoroughly decomposed corpse. Having gone completely skeletal, it's virtually impossible to determine age or gender. What the heck was that? I saw something weird.
Mitsukiの声が聞こえた場所から考えると、これ以上先だと聞こえないよね。戻ってみよう。
Alright, that's good. She said it again, because I skipped the last time. And there's another body. It's a half-decomposed corpse. Though kind of hard to tell, it appears to be the remains of a female senior high school student. She still seems to be loosely gripping her student ID name tag in one of her hands. Kurashiki Industrial High School, Leona Omura. Cranium bashed in with one instrument. Oops. Alright, so I can pretty much only go to the entranceway. I think the beat... yeah. Did I even get to look in here last time? I don't think I did. Anything... nothing fun in here. No Mitsuki at all. Well, guess we're gonna go back. Or not. If I kept running in circles like this, I'd never find her. I was in a state of panic, and I was allowing it to steer my path. Frustrated with the situation and myself for choosing to give up and head back empty-handed, I forced myself to stop and turn. I was going to do what I should have done in the first place, call out Mitsuki's name with everything I had in me, and hope she responded.
Mitsuki! Mitsuki! Doko?
That's everything you've got? That's terrible.
Minna iru yo!
No answer. Just the cold, lonely sounds of rain and wind bearing down on this cold, dilapidated building. This may have been a fairly large school, but sound traveled well in here. If she were anywhere in this hallway, I'm sure she would have heard me. And if she were just here only minutes ago, she definitely would have been around now. Could something have happened to her?
Mitsuki!
Well, back to the group. Well, I'm not going to look at that because that's a terrible wrong end. Actually, I might as well look at it. I might as well, because I'm going to end the video in like just a second. Might as well get this first. Alright, let's do it. Whoop, went over too far. It appears to be the ghost of a young boy.
Go Black Box!
Quality wrong end, 10 out of 10. Yep, that's the wrong end. Why would they even put that in if that's the wrong end? Well, I mean, at least there I got one wrong end. That's the only wrong end in the whole chapter too. So that's going to be all for this time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.